This is your example video for the Pythagorean theorem performance assessment. So you're going to be given a right triangle and you need to use the Pythagorean theorem to find the missing side. Once you find the missing side, you also want to state if your answer is a rational or irrational number and explain how you know. Okay, so I know I'm using the Pythagorean theorem to find my missing side length. Now be careful because sometimes, depending on the problem you're given, you might be solving for the hypotenuse or you might be solving for a leg of the triangle. So you've got to be careful and make sure you know which side you're solving for. All right, in my case here with the triangle I was given, I'm looking for this side here. And I notice that that side is right across from my right angle, so I know that I am looking for the hypotenuse. So for me, I am looking for side C. It's really important that you always know that side C has got to be your hypotenuse. Okay, then I can decide which side I want to be A and which side I want to be B. So I'm going to let A equal 4 and B equal 7. Now I'm going to substitute those numbers into the Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to put 4 in for A and square it, 7 in for B and square it, and I'm solving for side C. I'll put X in for C. All right. Then I'm going to square my numbers. So I know that 4 squared means 4 times 4, which is 16, and 7 squared is 7 times 7, which is 49, and that is equal to C squared or X squared, whatever you have over there. Then I'm going to go ahead and add together those numbers. So 16 and 49 gives me 65, and that's equal to X squared. Now, what I have just solved for is the square off of side C. Okay, but I want to know what the length of this side is, not the square coming off of it. So my last step is always to use the square root. The square root will undo the square. So that square root takes that square away, and I'm left with x equals the square root of 65. Okay, now that is my exact answer. Okay. If I wanted to give an approximate answer, I could take that in my calculator and I could take the square root of 65. Now I've done this ahead of time, right, because I always do a rough draft in my math notebook before I do my final version, my final screen recording. So I can see in my rough draft that when I put that into my calculator, I got that this is approximately 8.06225, and then it keeps going. Okay, so that is my approximate value. Okay, so I know that that side length, side C, is approximately 8 point something, or I can write it as the square root of 65. Now I have to decide, is my number rational or irrational? And I know that imperfect squares, like the square root of 65, and decimals that continue, that don't stop or repeat, are irrational. So my answer is irrational. Okay, and I know this because imperfect squares and decimals that continue on without repeating or stopping are irrational. All right, so make sure when you're doing your performance assessment, you show all your thinking, you write out your work as you're solving it, and then when you get to your final answer, to get all the points, make sure you also explain if your final answer, the side length that you're solving for, make sure you explain if it is rational or irrational and how you know. Good luck.